Yo, what's up everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. My name's Tyler, watching a game of Age of Empires 2 today on Arena between Mr.Yo, here in red, playing as Mayans, and Slam in blue, also as Mayans. I wanted to show this game not just because these two guys are two of the best players of Age of Empires that are out there, but also because there's some pretty serious hardcore judo that goes on in this match. I don't want to tell you exactly what that means because I think it will give a bit of the ending away. So just keep that in mind for now. We can see both of these players with a pretty standard Dark Age build. They both have Loom already since they're playing as Mayans, and they're just luring in their boars. Mr.Yo here actually using his town center to fire arrows at that boar, pretty uncommon. We can see on the other side of the map we have Slam. He's luring in his boar in a little bit more of a traditional way. He's going to let it sit there until he finishes chewing this one up, and then he's going to take it down with his villagers. So pretty normal boar lure for him. Mr.Yo's been doing this town center arrow fire thing for a little while, and he's really good at it. Obviously the danger is if you kill the boar while your villagers are in the town center, that boar will not be something that you can process and use for food. We can see a barracks up and a militia coming for Mr.Yo, and on the other side we can see a barracks up for Slam, and no militia yet for him. Slam scouted a bit of the map on Yo's side. Yo has scouted out where Slam is, so we're about to see a bit of a drush here, and we'll see who can be more effective. 3 militia out here for Yo. Slam just prodding in with his Eagle Warrior. Meanwhile, do we see any militia yet? We do. Okay, the flags are up, so Slam has now built some militia. He's also sending 4 villagers forward, and I wonder if he's doing that during the transition to Feudal Age. He is. So Slam has clicked up to Feudal, he's sending villagers forward, he's sending militia forward, and what we're probably going to see here is a bit of a tower rush, one would assume. Before that, we're going to see a little bit of a militia war, which is pretty rare to see, but interesting anyway. And we're going to see that Slam is going to come out on top of this particular war. He's going to have his Eagle on what looks to be 2 health and 1 militia on 8 health. But these 4 villagers coming forward are going to have an opportunity to put some pressure on Mr.Yo. This seems like a good time to look at the maps. We can see that Yo's main stone and gold are on the front of his map. He does have the ability to wall off across here, but he hasn't done so yet. His berries are off to the side. You can see he hasn't even started taking those. He's actually built his mill out here to take these deer, and his secondary gold is out to the side. So not the greatest map for Mr.Yo, and now he's getting pressure here from Slam. What's interesting though is that Yo is going to get this watchtower up, and Yo's taken out that militia and that Eagle Warrior. Yo hasn't lost a villager here yet. Those corpses are from Slam's militia. But we can see that Yo is going to get a villager there, and he's going to get that watchtower on the front down. Meanwhile, these villagers are going to come back, do a little retreating, and build a house, and maybe we'll see more pressure from them in a moment. We can see an archery range going up as well. Double archery range here for Mr.Yo. And this seems like a good time to look at Slam's map. So Slam's got both of his stone piles in the back in a very safe position. He's got his gold on the front, which he could probably wall in. Secondary gold on the front as well. And his berries here are off to the side. So not a terrible map for Slam. And he's going to be unpressured at least now, since he's the one doing the offensive action here right now. Another watchtower up here for Mr.Yo and for Slam, both sort of posturing for position, guarding these resources, is Mr.Yo. Slam trying to put pressure on them. Slam's here with a couple of archers, Mr.Yo's here with a couple of skirmishers, and it looks like Slam is going to get pushed back, and he's potentially going to lose this villager right here if Mr.Yo targets her. Come on, Mr.Yo. There. All right, so villager down there. These archers are camped under this watchtower, and it looks like this forward is going to be a complete failure. It looks like both of those villagers will go down, and it's looking like Slam has lost 4 or 5 villagers on that forward and quite a bit of stone, since both of those watchtowers went down. Mr.Yo may have lost a villager or 2. but one has to think he's quite a bit ahead here. He's up by 300 points. So Mr. Yo coming forward, not yet clicked up to Castle Age. He's got skirmishers and a couple of archers and a couple of villagers here. It looks like he might put a little bit of a tower rush on of his own. Or he might have thought of that, but it looks like now he's retreating away from it. Meanwhile, back at home, we can see that he's safe. Slam is building archers up in this archery range. What does he have in there now? Just one archer for him there. And we can see that Mr. Yo is here just walking across the map and retreating with these villagers. Okay, so both players sort of losing a few villagers. I think Yo got the better of Slam here. He's got his resources in a very safe place. He's got watchtowers up all around. So Yo is going to be in a decent position to guard that side of his base. He's also got a little bit of a house wall up here blocking off this side, and some palisades over here, which are not very strong, but will be a bit of a deterrent for his opponent. We can see Slam here gathering a bit of a feudal army. He's going to come forward and see what's over here. He's going to find out that there's a huge house wall here, and he's going to turn around very promptly. So Slam here really trying to get some pressure on, and by all means failing to get that pressure on. Yo really pushed him back well with the villagers there, eventually putting up some towers of his own and really getting 4 or 5 of Slam's villagers. We can see Slam's now up to castles, so is Mr. Yo. So we're going to see about an even castle time, but one has to think that Yo is going to have at least 3 more villagers than Slam until that point. So Yo with a bit of an advantage on double archery ranges, starting to build up a good amount of archers here, and Slam pretty much doing the same. He's got a little bit more of a skirmisher army here, which will be very good to combat Yo's archers. Okay, so while we wait for this to go up, maybe we'll fast forward a little, but first let's note that Yo has 5 on stone. Slam has got 5 on stone as well, although this villager is not... Oh, she was blocked in there for just a second. Both players hitting castle. A castle going up on the front for Slam. Yo is not building a castle right away. He's going to drop a town center first and a university. That university is going to block this area off, so it's a really nice position for him. And it will allow him to get ballistics very quickly. A little bit of an engagement here, potentially coming on between this skirmisher army and these crossbowmen. Those skirmishers going to elite skirm just then, and we're seeing Yo retreating from them. These archers are not up to crossbow yet, and we'll keep an eye on them. 5 plus 2 for Mr. Yo, and plus 2 for Slam as well. So Slam with 2 defense, Yo with plus 2 but only plus 1 defense at the moment. So a little better upgrades for Slam, but he's focusing on skirmishers while Yo is up to crossbow. So let's fast forward a bit. Let these guys poke and prod at each other. Yo's going to figure out that Slam is walled up. He's going to head back toward his side a little bit, and he's going to find some skirmishers on the way, and they're going to take a lot of his archers out. He is standing and engaging these skirmishers, which means he's probably looking somewhere else. Which is not a very good play on his part, but hey, he's still better than me. These skirmishers really pushing him around here. We can see Slam's archers here. They're going to get torn up by these crossbows. These crossbows are pretty much being given away for next to nothing, since these skirmishers are made to kill crossbows. So a bit of a weak play here by Mr. Yo. He's a great player. I'm sure he's doing something else with all of his attention. He has gotten a wall up across the entire front of his base, but really threw those crossbows away for very little. He is going to have a castle up before Slam can get back and put any pressure on him, and that castle can, while it's not getting pressured, it can start hitting this house in this archery range and start to take Slam's forward down completely. We can see Slam is here up on plumed archers. Not surprising, considering the Civ. Yo is going to start building some as well. We can see Yo here doesn't have enough stone to do much else at the moment, and neither does Slam. Slam's got a wall off across this side. He's got 1, 2, 3 TCs up, and he's going to be able to boom. Yo has 1, 2, 3 TCs as well. So both guys probably having a very similar villager count at this point. We can see Slam has come out to about a 200 or 300 point lead, which is pretty surprising considering the amount of villagers that he lost in the feudal age. Meanwhile, both guys sort of scouting around the map and getting a view of the entire area, finding that extra gold. Looks like this game could go for a while since both players are walled in, so it's important to locate those extra resources. We can see a second castle here coming up for Mr.Yo. He's going to defend that side of his base with it. And Slam here with a pretty good sized group of plumed archers. And they're going to be over here in just a moment, putting some pressure on Mr.Yo. Slam's up to Imperial Age, while Yo is quite a bit ahead of him, actually. So Yo's going to be up about a few minutes before Slam to Imperial, and he'll probably upgrade these plumes and try to put some pressure on. But Slam with the larger number of plumes at the moment. So a pretty normal match so far. Not a ton of feudal pressure, a little bit of skirmishers and some forward towers, but both players really getting the castle in a decent time and starting to put pressure on with plumed archers. Now Mr.Yo to Imperial Age. He's going to grab conscription first to get his units out more quickly, and then he's going to upgrade to elite plumes. He's also going to get the increased damage over his opponent Slam for the moment until Slam is up to Imperial Age. Slam's here putting a lot of pressure on this house wall. Mr.Yo could come and build a secondary stone wall here if he wanted, but it doesn't appear that he wants to. So he's going to wait and see how that plays out. It does look like he's going to circle around with a couple of these plumes now that they're elite to try to take on this slightly larger group from Slam. So we'll see how that goes. Slam is on the hill. Doesn't have as many upgrades, obviously. He is actually now to elite, so Mr.Yo will retreat there. If your opponent is elite, you must retreat. And he's going to come around to this side and try to build a castle to stave off Slam. It does look like Slam has an advantage there, and we'll watch this go down for just a moment. See if Slam can deny this castle from Yo. Looks like Yo will push Slam out of there, and let's see what's going on everywhere else. So Mr.Yo with a third castle up to guard this gold, although you can see he just got raided and lost a few villagers there. A couple of siege workshops up and some rams. That makes sense, playing against archers. We can see Slam has taken over the middle with two castles right beside each other, and some siege workshops, presumably also building lots of rams himself. And he does have 4 or 5 rams, and he's upgrading to siege ram now. So both players doing a little bit of raiding here on Yo's unprotected villagers. So both players going with plumes and rams. I guess we'll just see who can do it better and who can defend their side of the map better. As far as relics go, it doesn't look like anybody's actively going after them yet. We have 1 relic there, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So all the relics are on the map. Neither player has a monastery that I know of yet. Oh, there is a monastery up here and a monk coming out as we speak. We can see Slam also has a monastery, but he hasn't grabbed any relics yet. Lots of action going on here. We can see a huge mass of blue, lots of rams coming in, lots of plumes, putting pressure on this castle, and it looks like that castle will go down, along with a couple of these buildings here, the barracks here, another one of these houses. Meanwhile, Yo is over here putting pressure on Slam's castles with rams and plumes of his own. So a bit of a judo match here going on, in my opinion. So Slam pushing in, and Yo is sort of letting him, losing quite a few villagers in the process. Meanwhile, Yo's somewhere else putting pressure on these castles. So, you know, at this point, this game looks like it's really getting out of hand for Mr.Yo. He's down by almost 1,000 points. He's got another castle here under pressure. He's lost a TC. The one thing he does have going for him is he's got plumes inside of Slam's base. Not much there to put pressure on. He's looking at taking down lumber camps. But when he gets over to here, he can potentially grab some villagers before they get to that town center. We can see back on Yo's side that Slam is putting a lot of pressure. He's taken down another building, another siege workshop, and these rams here are probably capable of doing some damage to that castle as well. Meanwhile, over here, a massive plume archer war going on. Looks like Yo was able to get a couple of villagers there, but not enough, and he's really blocked into a corner here by Slam. We can also see Slam on this side putting a lot of pressure on. This appears to be Slam's game to win. Yo is here trying to take down this castle, but he's not going to do it. These rams are going to defend it. And really, Yo is in terrible straits at this point. He's down by about 1,500 points. No, about 2,000 points even. And he's in horrible shape. He's lost the town center. He's lost quite a few villagers. You can see that even the villagers he does have are not doing a whole lot. This villager's going to go down. But he does have a new wood line over here that it doesn't appear that Slam knows about quite yet. He is still able to take some gold, and he's got a couple of relics at this point. So Mr.Yo looking like he's in really bad shape, going to need something epic to come back from this type of a problem. He does still have a good group of plumes up here on the hill. Slam at the bottom of the hill, trying to take out these rams, trying to keep the pressure on. Looks like he's going to go after that castle as well. These villagers coming forward, they'll take down those rams pretty quickly with their melee damage. Looks like those rams are going to go down and the castle is going to stay up. So those rams were sort of a waste. They were a little bit out ahead of their plumes. He's going to draw them back in toward the plumes, but still taking a lot of pressure from the top of this hill. Looks like Slam's content with that since he has such a lead and since he is going to get a few buildings out of this. Getting another siege workshop there. Coming forward here to try to take out this castle, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it. And really Slam losing quite a few rams here, quite a few plumes. Losing that engagement in my opinion, but it looks like he is winning the war. If we look at the scores, he's still up by about 1,500. Meanwhile, Yo taking gold on the front. Slam really extending forward on this side. He's got his gold here, he's got plenty of wood, but those villagers are going to be pressured by these plumes, and they have no town center to run to, so a few of those will go down. But we can see that Slam really has taken over quite a bit of the middle of the map, and he does have quite a few plumes running in all directions. The problem is that Yo has a TC up, and he's taking wood very happily over there. He's got a couple of relics inside of this monastery now, and he does have access to quite a bit of gold. He's got a pile here, a few there, another over here. This one is also safe for the moment, while Slam does not have as much, that gold being pressured. This gold has now run out. Looks like Slam is actually hurting for gold at the moment, so it's a good thing that Yo is sticking with this one. We can see Yo here with a pretty big push. He's coming forward with rams. These onagers are going to do some damage to those, but it doesn't look like they're going to get him down. That onager's done. This siege workshop is now down. These plumes are starting to really look pretty formidable here, taking down quite a few of Slam's plumes, but they are going to eventually have to retreat there back toward this castle. So a pretty push and pull sort of match here. Another town center here for Yo, taking stone on the back. It just seems like one player gets the initiative, as Slam had just a moment ago, and the other player is able to outlast their push. You know, Slam's big push over here really was a failure. He did get some buildings down, but in the end he spent a lot of money doing it, and now the scores are back to dead even. We can see that this big mass of plumes is about to encounter a big mass of plumes from Slam. A couple of rams there for Slam as well. Looks like Yo's going to try to run by that pressure. Lots of villagers here forward. They're going to put down a lumber camp, and it looks like Yo could get many of those villagers if he's lucky. Yep. Many of those villagers going down. Wow, look at the villagers just going down left and right. And a few rams here as well for Yo, putting pressure on this side of Slam. Meanwhile, Slam's here with a big mass of plumes and a couple of rams, taking down that monastery, taking those 3 relics out. That's going to slow down Yo's gold production. Meanwhile, Yo is housed. He's at his population limit, and he's starting to push in a little bit here on Slam. We can see that Slam really doesn't have a whole lot of access to gold. He's still not mining here, and he's starting to get pushed in on at his home economy. However, he does have this really big, scary-looking group in the middle, a couple onagers, quite a few plumes, and he's also putting some pressure on over here. But but it looks like those rams will probably go down pretty soon if these villagers decide to knock them over. So it looks like Yo sort of seizing a bit of control of this game, really getting a lot of villagers for free, again on this side, taking villager after villager down, also getting those 2 onagers without losing too many of his plumes, and it looks like Yo is inside. Meanwhile, some fighting going on in this back corner between both players' plumed archers, and Slam here with a very large army in the center. He's going to do some pushing here. He is going to be met by some plumes and a ram, or a couple of rams, probably soon. Those onagers getting in some really good hits. A couple of very good hits from those onagers. And this ram is down, and all of those plumes are down. So now Slam having an opportunity to get into Yo's base. But Yo is really camping out inside of Slam's base. He's got a couple of rams here. He's taken out a lot of villagers. He's taken out that initial town center. Now putting pressure on this TC. Slam, meanwhile, has taken out all of Yo's gold mining on this side. And there is the GG from Slam. So Yo getting a win here with a bit of judo. You know, Slam is really pushing in hard here, and Yo's sort of using Slam's momentum on the inside of his base during the middle of the game to sort of distract Slam and come over and take out some castles on this side. In the end, Yo was able to really control all of the gold with his castles, and he got the win out of it. So I thought this was a really great game. I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks again. My name's Tyler. Please check in again with me soon.